plot on Sunday morning. It's been very cold and wet and generally miserable all week, so just come up to tidy up some bits, pick some carrots and leeks and things to take home. But in the meantime, my friend Richard Suggett from the Veg Growers podcast on YouTube has linked me and asked me what 3 things have I learnt this year. I had a bit of think what's been going on this year and what have I learnt. I've made a few notes down here, so forgive me if I keep looking down to see what I've planned on here. So there's numerous things I've learnt, but probably the highlights is I suddenly realised you don't necessarily need a greenhouse to grow cucumbers. I also realised there's more than just the normal soft-skinned cucumber you get from the supermarket and get from greenhouses, but the smaller, slightly prickly, tougher skinned outside cucumbers, ridge cucumbers, which I had a go at growing a few of this year. I planted, I sowed 6 seeds, gave me 6 plants. I was going to plant out only 3 of them, but I thought, well, first time and all that, I'll stick them all out. So I had 6 plants growing out here, and they just did fantastic. I put some sort of wire netting up so they could climb up a bit like peas. Had a few that carried on along the ground. I was a bit worried about slugs and insects getting to them, but every single one I was having so many cucumbers, just about that big. Prickly to start with, but the prickles just sort of rub off and the skin is tough, but it's not, unpleasant. I had to take them into work every week in the end because I just had too many. I pickled loads. They kept going all year and absolutely fantastic. So a good thing I learnt there, and I shall be doing more of the same next year. The other first, and I've put it off for quite a while, is growing parsnips, because everyone says they're really hard to grow. They take forever to germinate, and most of the time they don't germinate. Don't even bother trying to use an old seed because it won't germinate. So I didn't try it last year, but out of all the root vegetables, parsnip is probably really my most favourite one. Turnips, Swedes I can live with, but parsnips I'd really go out and roast a few, coated in honey, I would say. So I thought I'd have a go, and I germinated them indoors. I left them way too long, and really only left them in a little pot for about 5 days, just on some sort of wet tissue paper, and they'd all gone all over the place. So I binned those, and I did them again straight into pots this time, and they all came up. Again very quickly, 100% success rate, undercover, still outside, undercover. I then transplanted them into the ground, and only now am I starting to pull them up. And in fact, I'm only pulling a few up to make some space. I'm going to leave a lot of them until it does get a bit colder, maybe into December. But so far, I've had the odd weird-looking one, but I've had the odd good-looking one as well. And the lesson I've learned is that do I really need to bother transplanting them? I don't think I do, because I can tell where they got transplanted, because they sort of start off big and they sort of start to go really, really thin, and you can sort of, it's a bit like the wings of a tree. You could see where maybe you probably transplanted and where it got distressed slightly. So next year, my lesson from this year is just put them straight into the ground, use good seed, keep an eye on them, and they should all be okay. The last one, another one I've learnt, is how easy cabbages are. I've put cabbages off for a long time because I think of pigeons, caterpillars, netting and all that sort of nonsense, and it just seems like too much for something that I don't particularly like eating. But I had to go this year, some white cabbage primo. I put those, sowed them under cover, and I transplanted them out. I didn't have a chance to really do anything after that. I just covered them in netting, and I thought, well, I'll sort them out and get proper netting on later on, but I never did that. They just were happy with netting. They grew all through last part of the summer through into autumn, and we picked our last one just last week, which was over a kilo in weight, just that one, and I did nothing to them at all, absolutely nothing. They were sort of forgotten about, and they did so well. So don't be scared about cabbages. So that's it. I will have a think. I will find 3 people to nominate, or at least one person if I can't find 3, to pass this video on and to go through what they have learnt this year.